So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with 5 Night at Freedy. So let's start the series. 3 years after the Kyuubi incident in Konoha, on October 10th, the local fox hunt was taking place as normal. Dodging some kunai and improvised weapons, such as a wooden pole with its point sharpened into a spear, a young, blonde child with deep blue eyes and tattered clothes rushed. Why they always despised him was beyond the tiny child's comprehension. He had done them nothing at all. A blade had just missed his head when he ducked. He grasped the hilt as he passed the thrown weapon and began instinctively deflecting the weapons until he saw what appeared to be an ancient structure, which he shot into and heard the pursuing crowd stop. When he turned around, he observed that the crowd was staring at the location with both joy and horror. Except for young Naruto, everyone was aware that the building had existed since before Konoha was established. The first Hokage and Madara both declared the area off-limits. According to legend, the ninja vanished from sight after sending a scout inside the building at night. Since then, the location has been sealed 6 nights a week to ensure that whatever was within could never leave. They were fortunate that Sunday was the day off from the building's demon. Ninja knew that the area was home to the so-called Fazbear Fright's monster, but it took a translator to interpret the sign. To observe if the Kyuubi brat would perish at the hands of this other demon, the crowd decided to stake out the area for the following week. One of the Uchiha in the crowd chuckled cruelly and said, "I hope you enjoy this last week, demon, because you're going to be trapped in there for 7 days, there's no escape." One white-haired Chunin added, "Starting tomorrow your 7 nights in hell begins." After hearing these remarks, the 3-year-old became agitated and, brandishing his sword, dashed through the building until he reached an office of some sort. He whimpered and glanced quickly. With a desk, a fan, a box of masks, a musical instrument, a hook, and what appeared to be a puppet's arm, it was rather empty. A set of clothes and 2 screens were also present. The child realized it was more adult-fitting and tied the extra to fit him after changing into the purple shirt, blue jeans, and purple cap. He sank into a restless slumber while resting his sword on the desk. He discovered a gadget that wasn't on the desk the previous evening and hit a button without realizing it was a voice call button when he was awakened by a ringing the following morning. "Hi. Well done, child. What are you doing here? Do you not realize how dangerous this location is? At night, strange things happen here." The child jumped and a voice from the device spoke. "I don't really have a choice in the matter. I was chased in here last night by a mob. They have the place surrounded and are waiting for me to go out there. They said they were going to trap me here for a full week," stated the fearful child. "That clarifies your purpose for being here. I suppose it is my responsibility to help you live and to explain things to you. Although it may appear that 7 days will pass outside, time is moving quickly here. 3 weeks in the building is equivalent to 1 week out. You'll understand what I mean when I say flux." The speaker asked, "Have you not noticed that the office around you has changed?" The child realized that the workplace had changed at that point. Although it appeared to be empty, there were now 2 vents on either side, and the desk was now facing an open hallway in the center of the space. A bare mask was placed on the desk, and the package from the previous evening was nowhere to be found. The toddler questioned, "Now that you mention it, what happened?" The arrangement here varies every week to reflect particular historical events. Some of the folks you see there will help you live with me, but they are not genuine. The memories of the key person in the place will help you. Jeremy Fitzgerald is his name. He will support you during the first week's evenings. The threats from this era will be directed at you since he is truly dead. For the first 6 nights, follow his advice. You can refer to me as a phone person. I was referred to by this name back in the day. Yes, I'm dead, but I can try to prevent you from dying the same way I did. I'll record some messages for you at night that will provide you survival tips. Since the region is secure during the day, I would use this time to grab a bite to eat. You have till midnight to start attempting to live. The now exposed phone guy continued, perhaps you can find out more about what happened here and help me pass on at last. My name's Naruto and thanks in advance. So any info on this time frame I should know about, replied Naruto. Yes, you were present when the history of this location began in 1987. This is where the entire curse began. 5 children went missing first. Since nobody knew what had happened to them, that would be a good location to start your investigation. Additionally, I was recently told of your timing and the upcoming events. I'll go into more detail tomorrow morning, but if you made it through the first week, some of your former foes will turn into comrades in the next incarnation. You might learn more about what happened if you talk to the people who are most likely the missing children. They might be able to provide you with hints to solve the mystery and free not just me but also the other lives lost here in a moment of flux like this. Be advised that you will not be able to alter the course of events during the day because this has already occurred. You will need to observe events as they transpired. The phone guy was serious. Naruto bowed and said, "Thanks, phone guy. I'll talk to you tomorrow." It is expected that Jeremy Fitzgerald will return to the office by 11 a.m. Before the phone clicked to indicate that the call was over, the phone guy said. Naruto took a deep breath, located the sword sheath, and fastened it to his back as he left the office and entered a dining room that was prepared for a celebration. 3 animalistic creatures that resembled the ninja puppets he had heard about from Suna were seen on the stage. One had a pink outfit and a bib that stated, "Let's party," in a feminine shape, and it looked like a bird with yellow feathers. Her own azure eyes nearly glowed. There was a big spherical brown bear in a top hat on her right and in the middle of the stage. The red guitar from the box was being held by a blue, green-eyed rabbit on Naruto's right and stage left. All 3 had colored circles, with the female having a lighter tint and the male having red. There were other children playing, giving the impression that a party was in progress, but Naruto saw 5 of them observing from a corner. They were the 5 children mentioned, Naruto surmised. He approached them. He looked at the 5 and remarked, "Hello, there's Naruto." Among them was a boy with amber eyes and red hair who wore a red vest over a white shirt and tan leggings. Another had crimson eyes, purple hair, and glasses. She was wearing purple trousers and a blue button-up shirt. Wearing a worn yellow dress and orange stockings, the lone girl had comparable blonde hair and purple eyes. The latter 2 were identical but for their differing hair colors. They wore blue trousers, brown shirts, and black bow ties. The boy with the red hair said, "You must be new." "My name is Andrew." "My name is Sunny," the woman said. Jack nodded, the child with the purple hair. Andrew gave the quiet twins a nod and said, "And these 2 are the twins Frederick and Max." Gazing at the creatures performing on the stage, Naruto questioned, "So who are those 3 and what are they?" They're animatronics robots designed for entertainment. The blue bunny is called Toy Bonnie, nicknamed Bon Bon. He's the guitarist of the group. The yellow chicken is Toy Chica or Chi and is a backup singer. The leader is Toy Freddie, nicknamed Fred, who's the front of the band. There are two other animatronics, but one is currently being destroyed by some of the other kids. They like to take her apart and rebuild her into a mess. She used to be known as Toy Foxy but recently became known as the Mangle. She's a white fox normally. They are supposed to be new generation animatronics, as the original Freddie, Bonnie, and Chica plus Foxy are dismantled and shut down. The last animatronic is known by two names. The puppet or marionette, explained Jack. Naruto made it sound as though it was typical for his location when he added, "So any word about anyone going missing? I've been hearing a rumor that some kids went missing." Jack jerked and looked at Naruto with his four companions. They gestured for him to come along. They sat at a table in an empty room and gestured for Naruto to join them. "Should have known you were the one who is in the time flux. We can't reveal what happened as you got to figure it out yourself. But we can give you some hints," replied Sunny. "First is that the mini-games here can help tell you what you need," stated Andrew. "Second is that as you're the one going through this, you're basically taking the place of the main character at night and will be seen as that character," stated Jack. "Third is that after a few days you won't get to see us during certain times," stated the Sun. With stern expressions, the twins warned, and lastly, beware the one named Springtrap. Curious, Naruto said, "Thanks for the hints and guidance. Do you know who will be my allies next week? You asked us about them. The animatronics. The building itself is giving you a bit more of a fair chance due to your age. Think of this as a test of adapting to changing situations," Sunny stated. "Good thing about a time flux is that you can eat food here to keep yourself alive, but during the final week you won't be able to eat. The place is a horror museum and you won't be able to find food there. Same rules from this week applies to next week. You get allies from the opponents you face if you survive the full 6 days. Sundays are days off to recover from the week and where you can meet the next guide," stated Jack. "Good to know. Phone guy will give me advice on how to survive the nights with my guides. I promise I will find out what happened and free the trapped souls," stated Naruto. All 5 grinned. The 5 departed after Sunny gave Naruto a hug and said, "We wish you luck. There's some pizza and a drink in the security office plus something you're going to need." Naruto returned to his office, but he heard a metallic groan and flinched when he saw a white fox with a metal skeleton with pieces scattered all over it. As Naruto found a toolbox and began working on the animatronic without knowing what he was doing, he said, "You must be Mangle. Guess I know how you feel right now. You remind me of some recent memories I have. You're lonely, aren't you? Just like me. I don't have any friends at all. I don't even know my family. My own town thinks I'm a demon. But I have no idea why. I just don't understand why they hate me. And my voice, thank you, and I do understand where you're coming from. No one seemed to care about me once it got too much of a hassle to repair me every day. I will walk you through the rest of repairing me," replied Mangle. After doing so, she turned to Naruto, who was putting the tools away, and soon she was on her way to parts and storage. Mangle no Toy Foxy remarked, "Child, thank you for the help. If you need someone to talk to, just find me." Mind if I call you Vixen then Mangle nor Toy Foxy just doesn't seem right, laughed Naruto. The dubbed Vixen responded, sure later child, and went out to find the pieces of her costume that were missing. When Naruto arrived at the workplace, he discovered a scroll, a box of pizza, and a glass of juice. Naruto tapped the same button as before as a ring sounded. Naruto, you're so unexpected. Since closing time was approaching, you refrained from interfering with the proceedings. I believe you have already gained an ally in Mangle. Or Vixen, as you may know her. In any case, I was able to find the only other person who had the chakra-using skill and who consented to bring you some supplies to help you live. You will learn how to access chakra from the scroll. He didn't make it, unlike you. Reached the third week, remarked the phone guy. Naruto remarked, that's not reassuring phone guy. I apologize, but the last opponent persisted. At least you have a better chance with these. Since Naruto knew that things would get more difficult the longer he was stuck, he frowned when the phone person said, practice and get some rest a bit. Jeremy would be there in 5 hours. He then thanked the elderly man for teaching him to read and began studying. After completing the hand signals 3 hours later, he saw that Vixen had come in. Naruto, what are you still doing here? You should be at home, replied Vixen. Naruto began, I guess it can't hurt to tell you, but see the thing is. Before explaining his predicament to her. So let me get this straight, you're from a future and trapped here in a time flux and have to survive 3 weeks with each week being a specific point in the place's history, and through your actions with me have allowed me to become aware of this? If this is a joke I'm not laughing, replied Vixen. This isn't a joke, ladies, it's actually occurring. Naruto needs to overcome this in order to go back home. I'm still alive as of right now, but the rebuilt, withering animatronics killed me in 1993. I was crammed into a suit. Since my soul is stuck here, Naruto is my best chance of getting over that phone guy. Vixen stared at the phone and asked, what happened to me? You bit off the frontal lobe of a child after being messed with. You and the other toy animatronics were discarded to fix the deteriorated animatronics for Naruto's next week after the establishment was closed. You can understand why the building is cursed, remarked the phone guy, when you consider the 5 missing children. And apparently since I befriended you you're going to be aware of the flux at night while during the day you're stuck in the memory of the place, replied Naruto. Not precisely. Since Vixen is no longer connected to events, her original timeline self appears throughout the day. At that moment, only you would be able to see her. Next week, it will be the same for the others. It is the location's method of preserving events as they occurred. As Jeremy is now making his way to the workplace, I have to leave because my message is about to be delivered, stated the phone guy. As a uniformed man with orange hair entered, there was a click. Hey there, I'm Jeremy Fitzgerald, your guide this week. As for the night shift, you're going to be stuck in my form to the others. Now be warned, the first night is relatively simple, but as you thought it will get harder, Jeremy remarked from afar. The phone then started to ring. Hello. Hello. Hello, and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here and to help you get started down this new and exciting career path. Now I want you to forget anything you may have heard about the old location, you know. Some people still have a somewhat negative impression of the company. That old restaurant was kinda left to rot for quite a while. But I want to reassure you Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun, and above all, safety. They spent a small fortune on these new animatronics, facial recognition, advanced mobility, they even let them walk around during the day, Isn't that neat? But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database, so they can detect a predator a mile away. Hey, we should be paying them to guard you. Now that being said, no new system is without its kinks. You're only the second guard to work at that location. The first guy finished his week, but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift, so, hey. Lucky you, right? Mainly he expressed concern that certain characters seemed to move around at night, and even attempted to get into his office. Now, from what we know, that should be impossible. That restaurant should be the safest place on Earth. So while our engineers don't really have an explanation for this, the working theory is that, the robots were never given a proper night mode, so when it gets quiet, they think they're in the wrong room, so then they go and try to find where the people are, in which case, that's your office. So, our temporary solution is this. There's a music box over by the prize counter, and is rigged to be wound up remotely, so just every once in a while, switch over to the prize counter video feed and wind it up for a few seconds. It doesn't seem to affect all the animatronics, but it does affect one of them. Cough, and as for the rest of them, we have an even easier solution. You see, there may be a minor glitch in the system, something about robots seeing you as an endoskeleton without its costume on, and wanting to stuff you into a suit, so hey, we've given you an empty Freddy Fazbear head. Problem solved. You can put it on anytime, and leave it on as for long as you want. Eventually anything that wandered in will wander back out. Something else worth mentioning, is kind of the quirky modern design of the building. You may have noticed there are no doors for you to close. But hey, you have a light, and even though your flashlight can run out of power, the building cannot, so don't worry about the place going dark. Well, I think that's it, you should be golden. Otherwise, put on the Freddy head, if you need to, keep the music box wound up, piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Naruto turned to face Jeremy as the message came to an end. In response to the message, Naruto wound up the music box and stated, "This week is in summer. It's October back home. To me, the day before yesterday was my 3rd birthday. Now I see why that mask is here." Jeremy was asked, "Really, when's your birthday?" "The 10th, Naruto stated. As Naruto put on the mask, Jeremy remarked, "So back out of the building you getting out at the 17th of October. Right, we better make sure you survive." Vixen was simply perplexed. Vixen slumped against the wall and murmured, "A glitch? Oh man, no proper night mode must be a nightmare for us." Naruto was able to keep an eye on the cameras while wearing the mask because of his size. He had to switch places there, according to Jeremy. When Bonbon arrived and left after viewing the mask, Naruto also looked in the corridor and vents, but it appeared that the night would be calm. 6 chimes then rang out, and Jeremy vanished from view before Vixen's eyes could meet his. She had evidence that Naruto had been honest with her, and she was shaking. He gave her a mournful expression and gave her a hug. "Well done, Vixen and Naruto. Don't worry, everything will be alright. You won't be discarded just yet. At daytime, the mangle will." For now, Naruto, get some sleep. I'll tell Vixen what's going to happen. As he added, the phone guy said. When one of the TVs switched on and the tablet he was carrying converted its screen into a controller, Naruto said, "That's right, you're going to be with me next week with the other toys in 1993, but what did the 5 mean about the mini-games?" "Give cake," it said. "For this reason, it appears that you have to relocate Freddie to serve the children cake at the diner. Perhaps the games tell us what goes on here," the phone guy said. After that, Naruto played and became alarmed as a purple figure approached a child outside the diner and the game crashed after the child was slain. The screen then turned off, and Naruto regained control of the surveillance. "My God!" exclaimed Vixen, just as horrified as Naruto thought. "The diner must have closed for that reason. That must have been the beginning of it all. We just saw the murderer take the first life." The phone man was just as agitated as the other two. He looked a bit like one of the guards. "He had a badge on him," stated the Vixen. Vixen realized what it was and stated, "That must have been why no one caught him. Freddie was the only one who saw. This explains the aggression to night guards the withered animatronics have." Naruto claimed that it was his clothing that was purple, not him. However, that is still unrelated to what transpired during the bite. The phone guy said. "But now we have some information. And with my current clothes I'm not sure it's a good idea. The ones I wore are too damaged," stated Naruto. Vixen remarked gravely, "That means it really is important to keep you alive." Thus began the challenge's second day. Throughout the day, Vixen and Naruto noticed that the phone guy was correct, an additional mangle was present, and Vixen appeared to float through the memories like a ghost. It was eerie. While Sunny and Andrew played on an arcade game, Naruto had breakfast and met Jack and the twins. Jack said, "What's wrong, Naruto? You look spooked." "You were right, the mini-games did explain a bit. I got the give cake one this morning. I learned a kid was killed right outside the diner and that the killer was dressed as a night guard. This explains the aggression some of the animatronics have during the night," stated Naruto. "There's 3 more mini-games there. And you're going to get a bit of footage from 1993 just before the next night shift. That's all I can say. I think it's best if you only come out for food as the animatronics are giving you odd looks," stated Jack. Pretending to glance at the paper plate figure on the wall, Naruto stole a glance. They were staring at him strangely. "Must be the facial recognition technology. They can't locate me in the database as technically I don't exist yet," Naruto whispered. As Naruto bowed and departed for the workplace, Jack remarked, "Makes sense, good luck." In order to learn how to use his sword, he discovered another scroll, this one about sword methods. When Vixen came back and peered over his shoulder, he had been studying. The white fox responded, "Interesting, I saw the sword but said nothing. Well, I'm training to be a ninja once I'm back home. I want to become the leader of my village one day. So far I'm starting earlier than most my age. The normal age to start training is 5", stated Naruto. However, the two were soon drawn to the TV as it turned on. The camera whirled to look at a purple Bonnie with red eyes and then at a purple-eyed Chica as it displayed the following location. As it turned off, it panned back to the middle and static. Jeremy returned right away and was shaken. "Phone guy filled me in on what you found out. And things are definitely not as they seem. I caught that video. Things definitely are not as they seem, stated Jeremy. What I'm scared of is that Jack and Sunny, two of the missing kids, have the same coloration as Bonnie and Chica. Yellow and purple, purple and red. I think we got another clue about what happened, stated Naruto. Hair and eyes compared to suit and eyes, I noticed that as well, stated the vixen. Hello. See, I told you your first night wouldn't be a problem. You're a natural. By now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now. The idea at first was to repair them, they even started retrofitting them with some of the newer technology. But they were just so ugly, you know. And the smell, ugh. So the company decided to just go in a whole new direction, and make them super kid-friendly. Those older ones shouldn't be able to walk around, but if they do, the whole Freedy head trick should work on them too. So, whatever. I loved those old characters. Did you ever see Foxy the Pirate? Oh wait, Foxy, yeah, Foxy. Hey listen, that one was always a bit twitchy. I'm not sure if the Freddy head trick will work on, if for some reason he activates during the night, and you see him standing at the far end of the hall, just flash your light at him from time to time. Those older models would always get disoriented with bright lights. You'd call it a system restart or something. Come to think of it, you might want to try that in any room where something undesirable might be. It might hold them in place for a few seconds. That glitch might have carried over to the newer models too. One more thing, don't forget the music box. I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking that it can go anywhere. I don't think a Freddy mask will fool it. So just, don't forget the music box. Anyway, I'm sure it won't be a problem. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. The statement, man marionette is creepy and good thing I can still use the sword in case, was used by Naruto, who followed through on it. Withered Chica appeared with Chi shortly after he put on the mask. Naruto nearly jumped when he heard a "hi" from the left as they departed. He turned to see a boy with blue eyes and brown hair carrying a sign that read "balloons," and a balloon with red stripes in yellow. Balloon Boy. I almost forgot about him, Vixen exclaimed as she removed the object. Was he an animatronic? Nervously inquired Naruto. No, there's nothing in him. He's a statue that give balloons to kids. He disables the flashlight at night. He and Foxy are never far apart on the night side, replied Jeremy. A red fox that Naruto instantly recognized had something to do with Andrew Leap screamed, and when Foxy approached and collided with the wall, Naruto blessed his age. As he wound up the music box, Naruto remarked, well, that was a surprise. Vixen stated, I believe he was startled into deactivation. Wait, you're supposed to be the new version, right? So why the gender change? Replied Naruto. Vixen shrugged and said, I got no idea. After that, a bonbon appeared to battle a wilted, armless, and faceless Bonnie. The sight made Naruto wince. As Naruto wound the music box back up, Jeremy remarked, oh yeah, the toy animatronics had some territorial issues, as he watched Foxy being pulled out by a withering Bonnie. After 10 minutes, Jeremy disappeared as the chime sounded. After Naruto removed the mask, a new minigame emerged. After the third repetition, He was Foxy this time and had to rush down the hall with the purple guy in the corner. The children were dead when Naruto entered the room, and the purple man appeared behind Foxy. The game was over after that. That must be something involving the diner again. Looked like the day guard position. I didn't see the day guard though, replied Naruto. I thought it was strange, usually the day guard is looking over things from the office, stated the vixen. But that's where I'm at. That must mean that as long as I'm in this area, I'm taking over for the day guard as well. Better get some sleep though, wake me up when the place opens, remarked Naruto as he fell asleep. When Naruto awoke, he discovered a backpack and additional scrolls. Naruto, Vixen has already told what you discovered this morning. Since there won't be time to teach you more before sending you home at the rate you're going, the shinobi provided you some additional equipment. He therefore planned ahead and put some scrolls that he wanted you to have in the backpack, along with the earlier scrolls. There are also other garments inside that should fit you. And Naruto, I concur that the day guard must have been the reason the lost children disappeared. Phone guy, you had better go see them. Naruto nodded, changed, and walked out of the office, where he saw the 5 children staring glumly as he approached. Naruto, today's the day we won't be seen much. Whatever you do, stay hidden if you have to, stated Andrew. Naruto scowled in concern before he had an epiphany. He read a scroll that he had taken out. I got something that should help on that. I'm going to need one of you to help me out. I can disguise myself as a plushie one of you can hold, replied Naruto. After making 3 fast hand signals to make sure no one was looking, Sunny picked up a stuffed toy Bonnie and was taken aback. Before she and the other 4 appeared to transform, a man wearing a golden bunny suit motioned them over. That is interesting, but we are about to return to the memory, so hold on, Sunny replied. Before the man sealed the door, Naruto was detained in a secret chamber by the 5 with sunshine. Naruto shook in sync to Sunny's own shivers of terror as blood splattered on him as he stared in horror as the animatronic figure removed the suit and produced a knife before beginning to murder the children. Then, as the girl passed away, the killer stabbed Sunny in the chest, narrowly avoiding Naruto. The alleged day guard left without spilling any blood. After making sure he was by himself, Naruto turned the henge around and gazed at the 5 kids while crying when he felt a hand resting on his shoulder. He looked up and saw that the marionette had also been examining the dead children. Marionette's voice had an odd echo as she stated, "Don't be afraid because they shall stay with you in mind and heart. Cherish the time you had." He took out animatronic heads and put them on top of the heads of the deceased kids. They suddenly became the withered animatronics and shone. Naruto became concerned when Max disappeared. Gazing at the location of Fred's twin, Naruto questioned, "What happened to Max?" "You will find out later." "But who are you?" "You don't seem familiar," remarked the marionette. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki. My situation is a bit hard to believe. The one who did this is the day guard. I'm not sure what to think. I better get back. You may be a bit creepy, but I can tell you have a good soul for a machine. See you around," stated Naruto as he left. The night returned with Jeremy after they had returned to the office with Vixen. With the exception of the heads being oriented toward the camera, the video was much the same as the previous one. "Hello, hello. See, I told you you wouldn't have any problems." "Did Foxy ever appear in the hallway?" "Probably not, I was just curious. Like I said, he was always my favorite." They tried to remake Foxy, though they thought the first one was too scary. So they redesigned him to be more kid-friendly inside of his Kids Cove to keep the toddlers entertained. But kids these days just can't keep their hands to themselves. The staff literally had to put Foxy back together again at the end of every shift. Eventually they just stopped trying and just left him in some kind of take-apart put-back-together attraction. Now he's just a mess of parts and the employees refer to him as just the mangled. Oh hey, and before I go, I wanted to ease your mind about any rumors you might have heard lately. Too many local stories come and go and seldom mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever is going on out there, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with our establishment. It is just all rumor and speculation, people trying to make a buck, you know. Our guard during the day has reported nothing unusual and he's on watch from opening until close. Okay, well anyway, hang in there and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Seems the day guard hit his tracks well. After what I saw he must have skipped tomorrow and the rest of the week. Using a rabbit costume to lure the group away and kill them. I am going to give them a proper closure if I find that thing, remarked Naruto with a grimace. Wait, rabbit costume? I thought it was the bear one that was used, replied Jeremy. Naruto said, it appeared to be a golden Bonnie. After donning his mask, he wound up the music box and inspected the animatronics. It was a little more difficult because it appeared like all of the animatronics eventually arrived at the office, with Freddie, Bonnie, and Chicas each making an appearance with a balloon boy and a Foxy. When Naruto realized he had not heard the music box, he froze. A marionette abruptly lunged into the room, paused, and then tilted its head. The puppet moved to stand on the ground and asked, Naruto, what are you doing in the night guard's job at your age? As the puppet gazed at her and Jeremy, Vixen remarked, looks like Naruto added the marionette to our group somehow. What's going on? The puppet inquired. The stringless marionette nodded in comprehension when Vixen described it to it. So you're from the future and in order to get home you have to get through 3 certain weeks in 3 different locations and somehow you made me and Toy Foxy aware of this? So there's a time loop going on and all of this had already happened just without you being there. Well, I know there won't be another me in this. So I best get back to the prize corner. Good luck Naruto for tomorrow and the next 2 days are giving to be a lot harder. You will have my help in delaying the animatronics though, said the marionette. The bells chimed and he disappeared. The newest minigame in Naruto, Give Life, was released after Jeremy disappeared. The game ended when Naruto recognized the room and led Marionette to the dead children so he could give them mechanical bodies. It was unexpected to see a marionette like this, but things are getting a little out of control. We must now discover the fate of the purple person as we now know what happened to the children. The phone guy said. Before retiring for the day, Naruto remarked, there is only one minigame left, and I have a feeling it's different for the others. After waking up, Naruto waited until he left the office to go have breakfast. While studying the scrolls in the office, he discovered a sealing scroll seal and, after discovering some plush toys, sealed them into the scroll along with his other scrolls. As night fell swiftly, he sighed and put the scroll in his pocket. As the film rolled, Chica and Bonnie appeared irate as they turned completely to face the camera, which Naruto now saw was in Freddy Fazbear's eyes. Jeremy then made a comeback. You okay, Naruto? Jeremy inquired. Naruto put on the mask and checked the iPad when the notification appeared again. Yeah, just wondering what the last mini-game is, he remarked. Hey there, Night 4. I promised you would get the hang of it. Okay, so just to give you an update, there has been a little investigation going on. We might have to close for a few days, but I want to make it clear that this is just a precaution. Fazbear Entertainment denies any wrongdoing. These things happen sometimes. It will all be resolved in a few days. Just keep an eye on things and I'll keep you updated. We're not sure if someone tampered with their facial recognition systems, but the characters have been acting very strange, almost aggressive, towards the staff. They interact with the kids just fine, but when they see an adult, they just stare. As a side note though, try to avoid making eye contact with any of the animatronics tonight if you can. Anyway, hold on tight, everything will work itself out. Good night. As Vixen awoke, Jeremy remarked, "That should have been a clue that it would definitely get more dangerous as it goes on." "What's happening?" Vixen inquired. "The others were tampered with. Naruto is going to be stuck in that mask all night. At least Marionette will help us. Good thing Naruto is only 3, his size allows Foxy to go right over him. Seems they fully see him as me age included, so they will miss if going for my head," stated Jeremy. As he continued to receive visits from the balloon boy, Foxy with Chica, Bonnie, and Freddie, the night flew by. The toys appeared to be occupied by the marionette. Before long, 6 o'clock arrived, and Jeremy was gone. This time, the minigame went back to Freddie, where Naruto had to follow the marionette and advance. He heard the words, "Save them," in the static as he reached a particular room. After that, the screen turned off. Vixen let out a sigh. Vixen looked at the blonde child and remarked, "I guess that means that there are more souls lost to this place, Naruto." After nodding, the prospective shinobi went to bed to get ready for the following day. As he began to practice the sword, Naruto sighed and carried on with his study of the scrolls from yesterday. He discovered that there was a problem with the building at that point. It appeared to be vacant. "Naruto. I'm glad I was able to get in touch with you. The flux is beginning to be disrupted by something outside the structure. Some of the dead night guards are looking into this for me. It appears that you are being trapped between time zones. We think it's the murderer. We were able to chase him away. There will be some changes made to the animatronics. Whatever transpired gave you this week's remaining pals. The marionette and the toys are currently on their way to your office. We're talking while he explains. Hold on tight, for he might try this time next week. This simply expedited the process, and you will have some more peace and quiet tonight. They can attempt to distract the withered animatronics to get you to 6 now that you have all of your buddies, but they will still need to wear the mask. Be careful since Jeremy will be a little out of it tonight." The phone guy sounded a little breathless. As the puppet led the toys inside, Naruto remarked, "Thanks for the update, guess he became aware of my presence somehow. The murderer tried to force me into between the temporal space, that's why these 3 are now aware. If anything now only the withered is going to be the problem. Jeremy is going to be out of it so he might not show. I think it's due to my age that the killer is trying this. From what I gathered this is the first time this happened," stated Naruto. Toy Chica removed her beak and remarked, "He's trying to make you a victim. He won't get away with this." The shinobi that was before Naruto managed to seal the flux from tampering for now. He also sent a lot of stuff. Apparently that person before Naruto came here was also an Uzumaki, so this stuff is Naruto's inheritance in a way. It's all in the backpack, stated the vixen behind the desk. Toy Freddy stated, BB will also be a problem because he and Foxy have a partnership going on. Listen kid, sorry for the hunting you down, but now that we are okay we can try and make up for it, stated Toy Bonnie. As the movie began and revealed a surprise, Naruto remarked, thanks, cover as much as you can. Toy Bonnie, Vixen guard the left vent, Toy Freddy, Toy Chica guard the right, Marionette guard the hall. I will keep track with the cameras. Because the night is now here. The marionette was in front of Freddy and was imitating his actions, but otherwise it was the same as the first video. Confused, Naruto turned to face the marionette. Jeremy suddenly showed up and sagged against the wall. The child simply nodded as he peered through the webcam. The killer is really able to put up a fight. I got to admit chakra is surprising, I don't think he was expecting it. Your ancestor is pretty strong even in death. Good tactics by the way, Jeremy commented. Hello, hello. Hey, good job, Night 5. Hey, keep a close eye on things tonight, okay? From what I understand, the building is on lockdown, no one is allowed in or out, you know, especially concerning any previous employees. When we get it all sorted out, we may move you to the day shift, a position just became available. We don't have a replacement for your shift yet, but we're working on it. We're going to try to contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fredbear's Family Diner, or something like that. It's been closed for years though, I doubt we'll be able to track anybody down. Well, just get through one more night. Hang in there. Good night. Naruto and Vixen hit the light and Toy Bonnie pulled in the statue and restrained it before it could turn off the flashlight, which explained why the building felt empty. BB is on the move left vent, they remarked. According to the puppet, Foxy's in the hallway. True to pattern, Foxy disabled itself when Naruto replied, let it through, it usually goes over my head and into the wall disabling itself. If not I got a sword. Naruto and Toy Chica stroked the light, causing the broken-jawed version to withdraw to parts and service. Right vent, it's old Chica, Naruto said. The phrase, left vent it's old faceless, referred to Naruto wearing a mask. This time, Vixen did the strobing. I can manage Freddy down the hall, replied Marionette, who took out an extra lantern and caressed the bear. Toy Bonnie let BB return to the prize room after 10 more repetitions, but Toy Freddy and Chica pulled Foxy back to parts and servicing. Tonight is the last night before we are off to 1993 and the next guide, stated Naruto. Vixen questioned, Jeremy, why are you still here? After getting over his battle, Jeremy stood up and announced, I'm officially the new day guard. I'm handling tomorrow's daytime events. The bite of 87 happens then. That's when you're taken to the next guy's office. It's been nice working with you guys. Naruto remarked, same though you weren't much of a guide. I knew you could handle yourself by the way, nice leadership skills in directing your allies, replied Jeremy. I have a dream to lead my village one day, I got to have some training in that. Plus we worked well on it. Though where did you get the flashlight, Marionette, said Naruto as he looked at the puppet. Found it at the front door. The killer must have dropped it when he was taken out when the flux got sealed. I'm sure that we haven't heard from the last of him, stated the marionette glumly. Well, we got 12 hours until the next sortie. Get ready, replied Naruto. Jeremy blinked and remarked, "Hey, I just noticed you talk very well for a 3-year-old. I'm an orphan and grew up on the streets a bit. Plus I learned from the Hokage, the village leader, how to read. I just listened to how he talked on pronunciation. From there it was easy. I got a huge learning curve," stated Naruto. "That explains a bit. So why do you want to be Hokage if your village hates you?" replied Jeremy. "I guess I want to prove to them I'm not what they think I am. See, I was born the day a 9-tailed demon fox known as Kyuubi attacked the village. Guess they think I'm the demon as I was the only one born that day." "I don't know who my parents are," replied Naruto. "That clarifies why you were pursued here and why you are currently in this predicament," the phone guy said. "Phone guy, does Naruto's ancestor have any more info?" "I think their hate wasn't just because of that," remarked the marionette. "Yes, but just to be sure, Naruto, do you have an odd mark on your stomach? We might learn more from it." The phone guy sounded a little frightened. As he channeled chakra to keep the mask from falling, Naruto checked by pulling up his shirt. Naruto said, "Yeah, I suppose you can all see us right now. I got it all in one. Alright, there's some awful news about your ancestor. We call such marking a seal. He had never seen one before. He informed me that sealing the Kyuubi is the only method to defeat it. He claimed that Mito Uzumaki, the first Hokage's wife, was the first jail, or what is known as a Jinchuruki, or demon containment. This indicates that you were sealed with the Kyuubi. You are not the real demon, as far as I can tell. If the other people in your tribe believed you to be the real demon, then I suppose they don't understand seals. If my understanding is correct, your father sealed it in the hopes that it would enable you to live without him. He must have given his life to do it," the phone guy said. "But the one who did defeat the Kyuubi was the 4th Hokage, with the 3rd one being the current leader. And from what I learned from the old man is that the 4th Hokage made a lot of enemies during the 3rd Shinobi War. Guess the old man hid my heritage to protect me from those enemies. That means I was given my mother's maiden name," said Naruto in disbelief. "And as it's been confirmed you're related to the 1st Hokage, that means it's practically in your blood, kid," stated Jeremy. The toy Chika, who was beginning to feel like an older sister, said, "Naruto, when you get out, don't let on what you learned until you're ready. Things will get better. I'm sure you can change their opinion if you work at it." Toy Bonnie said, "If anyone can do it, it's Naruto. Now, kid, go get some sleep." Naruto nodded, removed his mask, and then fell asleep after removing his sword. "Looks like we are starting to become like a family to him," stated the vixen. Toy Chica said, "I'm starting to like him like a little brother." "Same here. We both have something in common. No one cared for us much. When I was mangled I felt really alone. Naruto actually had that in common. Had to walk him through repairing me when he fixed my voice. He must have experience repairing radio devices," remarked the vixen. "He definitely is surprising. I mean, to retain his innocence despite his hard life shows he has a pure soul." "I'm sure he knows a lot about pranks too," replied Toy Bonnie. "His ancestor claims that pranking runs in their family. Gives them the ability to make good traps." The phone guy laughed as he spoke. "Oh, I remember some of the pranks that Shinobi told us he pulled as a kid." "Definitely going to take his word for it," replied Jeremy. For several more hours after that, they carried on their talk. With a groan, Naruto continued to cover his face with the mask. He hadn't woken up for a few hours, and they had gone back to their previous setup. When they heard this message, everyone looked at Jeremy. Vixen asked, "Good question, why were you here if the place closed down?" and shared their thoughts. "I actually didn't get the memo. I think I missed it. Doesn't matter after what will happen. Naruto, don't leave the office, just watch from the cameras tomorrow," Jeremy replied with a sigh. "You were the person the real mangle bit the frontal lobe off, weren't you?" "Phone guy told me about that when I became aware," stated the Vixen. "Yeah, surprisingly I survived but died after 6 years. Ironic enough, the same year the next week is taking place." 1993 replied Jeremy. Heading toward the tablet, Naruto snapped. "Freddie is on the move, heading towards the hallway. Marionette, get ready. Chica and Bonnie are in the vents and Foxy is on the way with Balloon Boy. Looks like they're going all out. Look alive, guys," remarked Naruto while reviewing the camera feeds. After hearing the vents thumping, the group prepared to move them away with some strobing. As Toy Bonnie held down Balloon Guy, Marionette caressed Freddie and Foxy. Naruto looked down to see a giggle coming from beneath the desk. Naruto inquired, "Where did a pink-eyed Balloon Boy come from?" The creature beneath the desk appeared insulted all of a sudden. "Naruto, that's actually Balloon Girl, a variant of Balloon Boy. She's not real but can cause some odd things," advised Jeremy. Naruto then seized her and threw her to Freddie, the toy, to restrain her. Following 10 more attempts, the 6 o'clock chime sounded. The balloon siblings vanished right away, and the group shifted to the back of the desk. After Naruto shifted the camera to the main area, where Jeremy had just arrived, he discovered a mangle trying to bite a youngster and shoved her aside. The office then underwent a warp. It had a vent above their heads and 2 side doors, making it somewhat smaller. There were 2 buttons on the doors, one marked "Door" in red and the other marked "Lights" in green. 3 withering animatronics were totally restored and visible to the camera. Naruto switched cameras to reveal closed purple star emblazoned curtains with an out-of-order sign. Freddie, Chica, and Bonnie, that means Foxy, is somewhere here as well. The last animatronics I can get as allies for week 3. I guess there's some more mini games that we need to play and get more of the story, Naruto said. Must be where Foxy is. By the looks of things there are only 2 entrances in here. The east and west halls. Well, we got a full 24 hours until we get back to the grind. Toy Bonnie, Vixen, the left hall is yours to guard, the other 2 the other. Marionette, you're with me on cameras and keeping track of these 4 replied Naruto. Right, was the 5 animatronics' response. After that first week, 1993 arrived, the final week of the pizzeria before Fazbear Frights. In week 2, will they be able to handle this one? A young man with dark hair soon walked it and was startled by the 5 animatronics. Let me guess, you're allowed extra help due to your age. First time this has happened actually. The previous guy was only allowed what he had on hand and us as guides. So introductions are in order. I'm Mike Schmidt, the last night guard this particular location had, said Mike. Naruto Uzumaki, this is Marionette, Toy Chica, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Vice, though she was originally called Toy Foxy or the Mangle. To you they were at the old location 6 years back. So any info on or opponents, requested Naruto. Yes, Bonnie is usually the first person you see. He usually hangs in the backstage area, the supply closet, and the left party rooms. He always goes along the left corridor. Freddie doesn't move until the third night and stays in the shadows. The East Hall is where he usually enters, but when the power goes out, he moves to the left hallway. Chica frequents the kitchen, right party rooms, and backstage. You can't hide from Foxy once the power goes out, but with these 5 you might have an easier time of making sure to survive. That's about it, Mike said. You have to watch Pirates Cove occasionally, or else he runs down the left hallway, giving you only a minute to react and close the door. Just as expected, the phone call began. Asterisk ring. A ring. Ring, asterisk hi there. Hi there. To help you settle in on your first night, I wanted to record a message for you. Actually, I was employed at that office prior to you. Since this is actually my last week, I know it can be daunting, but I'm here to reassure you that there is nothing to be concerned about. You will succeed. Let us concentrate on helping you get through the first night. Alright, let's see. I have to study the company's introductory material first. You know, it's kind of a legal thing. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place where fun and fantasy come true for both children and adults. Fazbear's Entertainment is not liable for any property damage or fatalities that may occur. Within 90 days, a missing person report will be filed, the carpets will be cleansed, bleach will be used to clean the deceased, and so on. I realize that sounds awful, but there is no need to be concerned. Do I blame the animatronic puppets for their eccentric behavior at night? No. I think I would also be grumpy at night if I had to sing the same dumb tunes for 20 years without taking a bath. Therefore, keep in mind that children have a particular place in their hearts for these characters, and treat them with some deference. Alright, so just be advised that the characters have a tendency to stray. Something about their servers shutting up or being turned off for too long causes them to have some kind of free roaming mode at night. Before the bite of 1987, they were, let to walk around during the day. Indeed, it's incredible that the human body can function without the frontal cortex. If there is any true safety during the night watch, it is because these characters are unlikely to remember you as a person if they happen to encounter you after hours. They will probably perceive you as an unclad metal endoskeleton. They will most likely compel you to fit into a Freddy Fazbear suit because that is against the regulations of Freddy's Fazbear's Pizza. Well, if the suit itself weren't cluttered with wires, crossbeams, and animatronic devices, particularly in the vicinity of the face, that wouldn't be so horrible. As you may guess, it would be somewhat uncomfortable and possibly fatal to have your head crushed into those. The only areas that will be visible are your teeth and eyes, which will protrude from the mask. Yes, these things aren't disclosed to you at the time of enrollment, but I'll see you tomorrow morning. Check those cameras, and don't forget to close those doors until absolutely required. Power conservation is required. Okay, good night. Yeah, I thought it was a joke, but as you got the animatronics with you can tell it's not. Anyway, check the cameras. The kitchen is audio only. During the day you can send the marionette to distract the animatronics while Toy Chica cooks something. I doubt you can leave the office otherwise, said Mike. Naruto checked the cameras and saw that the animatronics were staring at the camera. At least you're better at this guiding thing than Jeremy. He was the victim of the bite and died this year from the injury. What about you? How are you here as a spirit, Mike, when I don't know if you died, he added. Oh, I didn't die here. I had the unfortunate luck of running into the killer once the place closed for good during a rainy night. Ended up dead halfway home and found myself stuck with various other victims, remarked Mike with a sigh. Sorry, was curious. Bonnie's gone, he's not at the places he frequents, check the doors, replied Naruto. When Toy Bonnie turned on the lights, he saw his counterpart, who appeared surprised to see him. The door closed when the button was pressed. According to Mike, it often takes them 10 minutes or so to depart. After 10 minutes, the door opened and Bonnie was gone. Naruto declared, Chica's on the move, just before they heard pots clanging. Kitchen, Mike said. Maybe I can fix that camera during the day while they're distracted, replied Naruto. Vixen reported, he was able to fix my voice box. The night came to a conclusion with a couple more visits from Bonnie. Naruto scowled in perplexity. No mini-games this week, Naruto. I apologize. It's just survival. You'd better put off fixing that later. Mike went away as the phone person spoke. Naruto sighed and waited while observing the 5 animatronics scan his area. Toy Bonnie remarked, Sleep, Naruto. We'll keep an eye on things. Naruto then went to sleep.